Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding is provided by a grant from Absolute Care of Westfield, committed to returning the favor to those who spent a lifetime caring for others. Absolute Care is located at 26 Cass Street in Westfield. Dave Cass and Rick Newell provide funding on behalf of the Lakeview Hotel and Restaurant at the Docks, located on Water Street near the lake in Mayville. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Senior Report is broadcast live throughout northern Chautauqua County on Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. each week. Call in and share a thought, make a comment, ask a question, or simply wish someone a happy birthday on Chautauqua County's only live call-in senior program. Since 1995, Reed has been bringing viewers hundreds of interesting guests, informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
And what a beautiful day we have here in Chautauqua County, and I mean it. It's just gorgeous. Yesterday was wonderful. People from all over the world come up here and spend the summer because we get the nice, cool evenings here, and we didn't have too many of them for a while, but now they're back. And the gardens are growing beautifully. The corn is coming in. There's laying gangbusters. Any of the farm stand usually has really nice corn. Be sure not to cook it for over 2 minutes, though. You don't really cook corn. You just heat it up. And it'll be sweeter, it'll be poppier, the sugar will not change to starch. People boil their corn until it's awful. My grandfather used to say, if you boil it for over 2 minutes, throw it to the pigs. At any rate, we have a wonderful program coming up here. And we'll talk, what's the name of the organization, may I ask? We've got Leslie here, and we've got Missy, who are going to help us out. And what is the name of the official program?
New Directions Youth and Family Services Global Village Foster Care.
Okay, did you hear all that? That's a mouthful. We'll call it New Horizons, all right?
New Directions.
New Directions, okay. And they're going to tell us about some of the programs they have, and they're very interesting and good, and you should know about them, and you might want to contribute a little bit. Okay, folks, we're watching TV. I can't even watch it without shouting at it. And my wife says, Reed, for Pete's sake, stop it. They can't hear you. But what's going on? The wars are running on continuously, making the rich richer with the arms and the smart bombs and the helicopters and all the other stuff. And they blew up a bunch of our wonderful kids, the SEALs, who were going out to kill one of them, one of their leaders at the time. And the United States still doesn't admit it. They blew it up. It might be a malfunction or something. We're getting the typical drivel and nonsense we used to get during Vietnam. I lived through Vietnam, and the same old BS. We're winning the war, no problems, and everything's going wonderful. So that's out, Pancho. Don't believe a word they tell you, friends. And of course, it's a way of just making the rich richer. All the powerful big companies, corporations. 1% of the population now owns 90% of all the wealth in this country. They've taken it all. They own the Congress. You can't get into Congress unless you're a multimillionaire. And people are on the streets in London and England and all over the world. Well, our people don't care. We just sit around. We're getting our pockets picked. You notice your health care benefits are dropping. You're not getting raises, but there's rampant inflation, which they've set up. You owe money. Your grandchildren owe money that they can never pay back. Our country's on the verge of bankruptcy because of this. Well, who's making money? The rich and powerful. Who's getting creamed? You are. And so people, it's time for a revolution in the Congress. Just vote them all out as far as I'm concerned. Vote them all out. They're all rich and powerful, and this Congress is of the rich, for the rich, and by the rich. Now, see, they're going to take me off the air now. Because they have control of all the air, so right. They'll take me off the air. Folks, that's my lecture for the day. We'll move on, except I do want to mention that under the new rules and the way they're going to solve the debt problem, they're not solving anything according to everybody. who knows? But they have thrown the seniors under the bus. We're finished. We're supposed to either starve to death or die of some disease because they cut back our Medicaid, our Medicare sharply, and you'll find out our insurance is going way up in price and way down in benefits. A lot of the poor working people are not getting any health insurance to speak of. They've set it up so that they're working for just minimum wage, and they are not getting health care benefits. They're not getting retirement or anything. And when retirement time comes around, of course, there's an $8 trillion Social Security trust fund. How much is in it? Zero. There's an IOU. It's like O'Brien at Patty's funeral. O'Brien goes over to the casket and starts fooling around. His wife says, "What were you doing in the casket?" He said, "Well, I've owed him 10 grand for years. I just gave him a check." That's what's in your coffin, baby. I tell you, for your Social Security. So I guess our main, as one governor, I believe it was Oregon, once said, he was diselected, unelected the next year, that seniors have one rule in life, and that's to die. And they're going to make sure you do it. And I hope you have a taste for this stuff. This is what seniors ate during the Great Depression, and it's called tuna fish cat food, and it's very good, actually. And that's all you'll be able to afford. And I'm going to write a recipe book for cat food. The beef strips are pretty good if you mix a little bacon in them, actually. They're not bad. All right, friends, enough of that. We do have some good news around here. We have the best senior groups. So you see, I like to do puzzles. Code breakers. And I'm very thrifty. I use my paper on both sides. So once I've used one side, I just put it back in on the other side and print the other side. Why throw it away? It's a perfectly blank sheet of paper. It's good. I get 1,000 sheets out of a ream. Okay, Westfield seniors have a great thing here. They're having a 53rd anniversary celebration over at the YWCA on Thursday, September 8th at 6 p.m. Do not miss it. Everybody's happy to come. If you want to go, call Shirley Copine. She's the one in charge of it. And they'll have an evening program coming up with Scott and Debbie Mason. They run the local funeral home, and the only one left. I guess Fantasi came in and gave it a run and couldn't do it. Apparently nobody used his funeral home, so it's up for sale. Anybody want a funeral home? There's one in Westfield. Busy job. And speaking of which, the Episcopal Church is having a great program for the young children over there, young people. Actually, not children all. They have picking of fruits, and it's called the Fruit of the Spirit program. So you want to take the kids over, and they'll take them out they pick blueberries. They picked a whole bunch of blueberries over there, and they had a great time. Virginia Carr, who is the priest there in the Episcopal Church, has a bunch of blueberries on the property. They picked bushels of blueberries. Then they did peaches over at the Eggert orchard. Yeah, Bibi and David Eggert. Eggert has that big cart you see in county fairs and everything. It's a big, it's a beautiful, wonderful sort of a cart. And the Hootmeisters, what are they? They play oompa band. It's a big oompa band in Westfield. They ride around in that. Two beautiful, huge Clydesdales horses take this thing around. It's fantastic. Anyway, Bibi Eggert, we thank you and Dave for all the peaches. They went over and picked. Kids came back with bags and bags of peaches, wonderful peaches. The peaches in Chautauqua County are just coming in now. So go find some peaches and pick them. They're wonderful. You can make jellies. You pick peaches, make the best pie. Cut them up and mix them with some sugar. Put them on your ice cream. Oh, it's a peachy world, friends. Okay, there you go. Thank you, you guys. I wanted to mention that because I think that was just a really sweet thing to do. All right, we have another item here. I wanted to mention Lilydale. You know, Lilydale is like Chautauqua in a sense, and it doesn't get as much publicity. And it's a spiritualist community, and they have a great program there. And this week coming up, for the August 26th to 28th, they're going to have a speaker there, author and medium Sharon Klinger, about igniting your spirit power. It's about powers, spiritual powers, and I mention that because I also am a powers. You can drop over there and pick that up. You'll enjoy it very much, I think. Dunkirk Federated, they have a great place to meet. They have a huge school with, you can't beat it. Helper of the day was Hallmark. and others who assisted. I love the press release. They have a great bunch over there, though, and they meet regularly. And the next meeting coming up is next Saturday. No, I guess it's next Tuesday. The kitchen committee for the next meeting was August 16th. And this is dated, you can tell. It's just coming in, August 16th. That's coming in a couple of days. Lakeshore Seniors, they have a great bunch there. And Charlene Hallmark is the president. She's been doing the job for years and years and years, and everybody knows her. Get in touch with her. Take somebody over there who's sitting around watching the TV, and then somebody comes by and turns it on for them. Take them over, and they'll have a family. They'll have a support group. They have arts and crafts. They have all kinds. They dance. They have all kinds of things. These senior groups are out of sight. August 17th, next meeting. You'll meet Jeanette Nabowski. Sheridan Happy Seniors meet regularly at the St. Bosco Hall, and they have a great bunch over there. And incidentally, there's a Sheridan group there. They have the Happy Senior song. I got to have them come sing that. I keep saying that, nobody comes. Hey, anybody Sheridan senior who sings a Happy Senior song, give me a call. I'd like to hear it. We'll bring the whole gang over. Happy birthday to Gene Guzik, Richard and Betty Kern, and Ed Passlerb over there. And happy 56th anniversary, wedding anniversary, Teresa and Dean Warner. You know, 56 years of wedding today is almost unheard of. 56 days is probably more common. At any rate, have a great time. The Riles and Woolley drawing was won by Ed Passer. I get excited. Okay. I wanted to say Silver Creek Seniors have a nice clubhouse too. They're at the intersection of 5, and when you go and buy your cigarettes from your Indian cigarettes over there, tax-free, of course, and incidentally, the state is still trying to collect taxes for them. Every governor comes along and says, I'm going to get taxes out of those people. Well, it's a sovereign nation, for Pete's sake. It's the same as going to France and saying, we demand you collect New York State taxes on any New York State resident who buys something here. It's absurd. And of course, you know, on your New York State, another absurdity by this New York State legislature, which has gone crazy, is the fact that you have to testify at the bottom of your tax that you paid all state taxes due. So seniors, when you're traveling through Buckhole County down in out in Arizona, remember you've got to ask them how much of the tax you paid you can deduct their tax. Is their tax, and how much is the county tax there, and then keep a record of all this, and every time you stop in any country in the world, you've got to make sure that you get the record of the taxes, and you deduct that from your state tax, and then you got to compile all this, and you got to report it. You got to be kidding! Are these people crazy in Albany? Holy mackerel! And if you don't, you go to jail for 5 years if you cheat on it. You've got to be kidding. I don't know anybody in this state that doesn't buy their cigarettes at the Indian Res. At the Res, as they say. You guys know that. You're at the Res. There's an awful lot of people go there, buy there, and get their cigarettes and gas. And the gas is almost, they don't pay a tax on the gas, but it's almost as cheap as, almost as expensive as the gas station down the street that's out of the Res. So they're getting even with the paleface, I'll tell you. They're just cleaning up on you, and they have the greatest casino there, which strips all the palefaces in the area of their houses and their homes and their wives and their dogs and everything, like a certain relative of mine, who I just bought another home for. All right, Silver Creek, they do have a great bunch, and I don't know. I just want to say they have large groups. The guy over there is Ed Newman. If you want to get in touch with somebody, check with him. He'll tell you how it goes. He also says there's an alert there that they brought to our attention. If you want to make sure they do concern themselves about the Office for the Aging in this area, get in touch with Brian. What's his last name? Higgins. Higgins! There it goes. Brian Higgins. He's your congressman, incidentally. And he does vote right sometimes, but he won't come on the program. I'm trying to get him to come over here and talk to everybody in Stock County. He came on twice.